So my name is Lawi Garces, and my topic for today for the subject of public personal administration is where the budget constraints and downsizing strategic to the economic pressure that may require staffing, multi-skilled workers, and strategic planning to maintain the service equality. In today's economic environment, public institutions and the government agencies are under constant pressure to do more or maybe to do more less. When it comes to the budget's constraints, it becoming more challenging to the forcing organization to rethink how they operate or how they deliver the service or maybe on how they manage to their workforce. As a result by that, downsizing is most of the common strategic. It may be adapt or maybe to reduce a cost, but this may affect the change of the plan to avoid sacrificing the quality of the public service. This situation, it may demand a new kind of workforce, leaning, efficient, and composed of multi-skilled individuals who can adapt to various roles, or maybe it alongside to this strong strategic planning. It is essential to ensure that even with the limited resources, government agencies can continue to meet the needs of the people effectively and commonly. In this report, we will explore how the budget limit or maybe how the budget affect to the public administration management, the strategies used to downside the efficiently on how they align the staffing, versatile, and maybe to start a smart planning that may can help to maintain and to improve the service delivery under the economic pressure. So, number one is all about budget constraints. So, what is budget constraints? The budget constraints refers to the limited financial resources. When it comes to the organization or maybe a government agencies, when the budget is tight or kulang, they cannot afford to hire more staff or employee, to increase the salary, or maybe to implement a new program. More of that, agencies to prioritize essential services and to cut back others. So, how they can affect? So, what is the purpose of the budget constraints when it comes to the agencies? Ano maka-apekto man siya? Because it affects how much the government can spend on the public service, or maybe kuhaan nila ang mga benefits sa isa ka empleyado, or maybe mukuha sila budget to the other sources, maybe pagkuha og budget sa mga tao nga dapat para sa mga tao, and by that they are doing the poor budget planning, or maybe it can lead to the efficiency and the dissatisfaction. So budget constraints, let's say for example, in a Samal, there are small municipality. The local government had to reduce fundings for communities, events, infrastructure, project, because due to their tax decrease, especially during the pandemic time. As a result, most of the taxes nga na-provide sa government is nahatag lang siya dito sa ginatawag na og kining mga essential during the pandemic time. So what are the essential? So mo to ang mga sanitation, healthcare, na isa na dira ang mga mask, mga regular needs sa mga staff during the pandemic time. So, what are the basic explanations sa budget constraint? Isa ni siya sa paglimitado sa pundo sa isa ka organization, hinungdan nganong magkalisod ang pagdagan sa tanang programa o serbisyo. Okay, so let's proceed. Or maybe isa sa hinungdan nganong nagkagamay ang budget, maybe one of the crisis sa mga ekonomiya, gamay nga pagkuha sa mga buwis. Isa na dito ang mga priorities nga mga kalamidad nga pandemya. O unsa may maapektuhan ani? So, most of the time to the people, mga maputol lang ilahang mga services because ang ilahang budget is ma-align lang ana ang mga programa. Isa pod is makaapekto mo sa government is katong mga ginatawag natog delay ang sweldo sa isa ka empleyado. Or maybe they are limiting the staff. So, downsizing, limited. Proceed na ta sa akong topic number 2. The downsizing. So, downsizing, tungod dito sa number 1 ako, nagkakulang-kulang na sila og budget, diri na din mosulod si downsizing. So, downsizing is a method used to reduce the number of employee in our organization, especially during the financial crisis. Most of the time, the common goal lang ani is to cut cost while they are trying to deliver unnecessary services. This can include the layoff, early retirement, or maybe a non-renewable contracts of merging department. So, ngano importante man siya? Because downsizing, it may help manage cost, but if done poorly, yes, it can affect a morale of the service quality and the workload of remaining employee. Yes, because downsizing man gud is the basic explanation lang gud niya is kanang ginatawag nato og mga cross-cutting, pagtanggal sa isa ka empleyado tungod kay maybe nihinay or dili kulang ang budget sa isa ka organization, and they are using the budget commonly to lay off some of the employees, or maybe give them an early retirement, or maybe a non-renewable contracts. Di na sila hatagan og extend contract for those mga unregular employees. And usa ka benepisyo ani, or isa ka example sa downsizing strategy, naay isa ka munisipyo na lungsod, tungod sa kakulangan sa budget, gipa-retire nila ang mga senior employee, or gipaundang nila sa trabaho, o gitagaan na lang sila og contractual na budget. Ang mga importante na lang dapat giserbisyuan, mao na lang ilang gi-priority, kay naka-focus na sila ani nga mga organization agencies. So sa number 3, diri ang mosulod ang lean staffing. So lean staffing, this means that having fewer employees while ensuring they work efficiently and productively It is about streamlining process so that work can still be done effectively even with a smaller workforce. So, tungod kay nagkakulang-kulang na mga employee dito sa atong downsizing strategy, dire na din mo sulod si lean staffing. Katong mga gamay na lang ang mga empleyado. So, why it matters? Because it is encourage resourcefulness to improve efficiently and to reduce unnecessary payroll expenses. But it requires proper planning and support for all of the staff. Yes, because tungod sa kakulangon sa empleyado, di ginato malikayan ang mga kakulangon po sa serbisyo nga ilang ma-provide. Kay yes, sakto silang sweldo tungod kay gamay lang sila. But di na to ma-deny nga ang ilahang service nga ma-provide sa katawhan is dili 100% due to workload. Okay, so there's an example. In a rural public school in a Negros Oriental, there are only 5 teachers were available to teach over the 200 students. To manage the workload, the school principal took on a teaching duties as well, while teachers covered multiple subjects. Despite the smaller team, learning communities was maintained through modular learning. So, inana siya. So, basic understanding aning lean staffing is kanang pagtrabaho nga gamay ra ang empleyado. Pagtrabaho nga gamay nga empleyado, but they're trying to provide all the services nga gina-provide pod sa daghang nga empleyado. Okay? And dire na mo sulod si multi-skilled workers. Tungod kay limit raman ng mga employees, productivity pa sila, most of them are multi-skilled workers. Muna ako number 4. Multi-skilled workers are the employees who are trained in a multiple areas or roles. Instead, they are hiring in the different people for each task. An organization depend on the fewer people who can do a various job. So muna itong ginaingon na to nga flexible, no? Mga mainat-inat nga mga empleyado, pwede ra na to hatagan og mga different kind of job biskan dili align sa ilahang job, or maybe a teacher tagaan na nato sila job nga mga pangdukdok sa mga blackboard biskan dili ilang job. Okay, so why it is matters? Because this approach the cost effectively. Maybe they build and flexibility on a workforce, but it can ensure work continues even when the others are absent or laid off, because they are skilled workers, no? They already known all different kind of job. Pwede sila ma-align na nga job biskan dili na mao ang ilahang position. Okay, so workers skilled are example, there are a city hall in a Cebu where an administrative staff was trained in IT support, in a basic accounting and clerical work. When the 2 co-workers resigned to the budget cuts, he took over to their task temporarily, ensuring that there is no disruption in the basic services. So, basic understanding lang aning multi-skilled workers is isa ni siya ka employee nga kabalo sa daghang buluhaton nga dili lang usa ka spektong trabaho nga gi-align sa iyang posisyon. Flexible, makatabang sa ubang departments, or maybe makatipid sa mga organization sa pag-hire sa mga multiple employees. Okay, dili na rin mosulod ang ato ang topic number 5, where is the strategic planning. Strategic planning is a process of the setting goals, assessing available resources, and organization action to achieve desired outcomes over the long terms. It helps leader decide what programs to prioritize on how they can operate, or maybe despite the challenges on what they have coming through. So why it is matters? Because good strategic planning can keep service running smoothly. It can avoid and guide the organization through financial difficulties. So there's an example the provincial government in somewhere in Bohol conducting a strategic review of all departments. By identifying the overlaps and non-essential tasks, demerge some offices and reassign personnel, defocus resources on the disaster preparedness and the healthcare, which is deemed highly priority. So what is the basic explanation ani? Muna siya ang mga employees nga mga andam sa mga lakang or andam sa ilang pagserbisyo nga masiguro lang ang limitado nga resources nga mopadayon gihapon biskan due to financial lack of resources. So sa inaani nga mga employees muna ni ang mga performance based planning, prioritizing the service, or maybe the resource allocation. So may conclusion is bisan pa sa kakulangon sa budget, this is overall na sa akong topic, posible gihapon nga magpadayon ang mga epektibong pagserbisyo kung adunay maayong estratehiya or multi-skilled ang mga empleyado, or maybe a lean but is efficient workforce nga kinahanglan ang pagkugi o ang pagpaglano o collaboration sa tanan employees. So that's all.